Hello everybody and welcome once again for another Toriko chapter review. This week's chapter is 329. Now this chapter was pretty much a show your skills type of chapter where they finally arrive at Blue Grill, and before anything can happen, the piece of the coral limb that broke off pops out of the water to attack them, and from an insanely far distance away someone is able to cut this piece of the core limb into tiny cubes, and then a bird with a basket comes in by and just scoops up the pieces and brings them to whoever cut it. Then we go into the town, and the townspeople were able to see the various, rare ingredients and interesting cooking utensils and the interesting cooking techniques of the various chefs. I mean, one guy was moving so fast it looked like he had several arms, but then again, knowing the Toriko verse, he probably did actually have several arms, working six pans at once. And instead of the customer he was cooking for being a couple feet away, he tosses the food to the customer, perfectly landing in their dish, like possibly like a mile plus away, which is amazing skills. I mean, it looked like a mile, so. And then we see, various other weird, like cooking tools and whatnot. And then next thing you know, people start showing off that the chefs from Komatsu's group of chefs start showing off their various skills. You know, we see the millimeter guy, can't remember his name, he tosses the food that far as well. You also see them, be impressed with how quickly they can cut and how precisely they can cut and all that other good stuff. Milk is second and is impressed with the knives, and all that other good stuff. And you have the gourmet mafia guy being like, "Oh my god, these chefs are so blah." Like really, they're getting all, ooh la laing over, oohing and eyeing over the various cooking stuff, related stuff. And then we see this mysterious group or pair of people who are wearing masks. Who at first it looks like they're monkey because the masks. They look like they're possibly from Area 7 monkeys. They're monkeys from Area 7, but no, they're just masks. And then the bird shows up with the pieces of the core limb, and it somehow is able to regenerate itself, putting the pieces back together, and they go to attack these two gentlemen. But this is where we see the final display of skill, because Shio decides to return the favor for saving them early, for these two gentlemen from saving them from the Cornlim earlier, and is able to cut from equal distance, cut away that they did. Not only cut the Cornlim from such a far distance, but cut it even into smaller pieces, as well as induce knocking on it so it won't be able to regenerate. So they have showcased their skills, and now these gentlemen are interested, or people, I should say, because because of their get-ups, we can, anything's possible in Toriko verse. They could be men, or they could both be female. Just with tons of clothes on, so you can't tell. So I just can't wait to see what Mitsutoshi has in store for us next, because obviously he set up certain plot lines such as that could be important to this arc, such as supposedly 2 years ago, three people who were on death's door were brought to Blue Grill and rescued. So, question is who were they, and what significance, if any, will they play in this arc? Because Mitsutoshi is been on point when it comes to this kind of with world building and its story lately, and so it's definitely going to be very, very interesting to see what he does. So this chapter was fairly good. I mean, I enjoyed it. Seeing the various things that they were able to do. It was not like an overly amazing chapter because not much really happened, but so I hope you all enjoyed this review, and hope to see you all next week.
Okay, let's talk Toriko for just a little bit. Toriko, this would be chapter 329, and I like this chapter. I do. There's not a ton to it, but I do like it because they're finally starting to get indoctrinated into the Blue Girl, into Hot Girl. Um, Sorry, I've been hanging around Twitch too long. Uh, But yeah, like I did kind of like how the coral just got like sliced and diced, only to be sliced and diced later by Chio, but at a better rate with knocking put into it. Um, what I really did like was how they were showing all these like high level techniques, and then like the people that we knew from human world who have traveled with Komatsu, um, were able to show like the same level of prowess or higher, like Chio and Yudo, and then he's like, the customers not must not wait a single millimeter. But I like that. There's some interesting like I'm really digging the design of this place right now. Like, yes, I do understand people are like it screams Fishman Island, but I say it screams better than Fishman Island. As far as the design goes, uh, I really dig how everything is looking in this. The just the artwork as well as just how the whole place works is just interesting and just very uh, brings life into these chapters. I mean, it's not. You might think it's a small detail, but it really does help when the environments are good, when the artwork is on point, when you have interesting just places to go, interesting locale. Um, so there's not a ton else to talk about, just because they're like helping, just them helping out the other chefs was cool. I like even Komatsu. I mean, it's fine. Um, and yeah, I mean, apparently there's like these masked people in like weird like monkey masks. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm sure they're gonna do something. So they're probably gonna be the villains because the text at the end said, like a mysterious group appears. What identity can be found underneath those masks? A rough welcome awaits Komatsu and the others next issue. So, I mean, it's pretty much implied that they're probably going to be the villains of this mini arc or whatever this is going to be. Uh, yeah, I mean, so we don't know what's going to happen, but they were impressed by Chio's slice from that distance. Uh, I mean, that's a pretty far distance if you ask me. Because if you look, there's a good like picture of perspective where you see Chio, that page where she's saying "return a favor," and you can see like that tower in the far distance. That looks to be, um, I mean, not an exact measurement, but it looks to be maybe a kilometer, not quite a mile, maybe a kilometer long, maybe a bit less. Um, Hard to tell, but you could tell it's very far. And for her to just pretty much looks like she casually did that, um, from that far away is pretty cool. So yeah, I mean that's it. Um, this chapter rating, I liked it. So I'll say it's a good chapter. It's a decent indoctrination into Hot Girl, into Blue Girl. Um, but thank you guys for listening, and see y'all next week.